I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. This is just another wonderful day for Lakeview, for the Waterfront in Mississauga, and we're very excited about this. Before I get started, though, I would like to recognize some of my colleagues. I'd like to recognize our new councillor, John. Wave, say hi to everybody. John Kovac, which is fantastic. We have a lot of people here from staff, the Inspiration Lakeview team, who have done an amazing job, created one of the most incredible master plans that we've ever seen. We've actually been invited to Stockholm, Sweden this year to show off Mississauga's waterfront master plan to the rest of Europe, which is fantastic. I also like to welcome Gary Kent, Commissioner of Corporate Services now? Yes, and Janice Baker is here somewhere, our city manager. Thank you, Janice. And Paul Mitchum, I see Paul Mitchum out there. Thank you very much, Paul. And Susan Amering from Economic Development. So thank you all very much for coming. Also, a person in attendance today that's been an absolutely wonderful partner and someone that's been very, very helpful in pushing this project forward is Scott Martin, who's Senior Vice President for Ontario Power Generation, is here. And several members from the community of Lakeview, which is absolutely fantastic. This entire project would not have happened without the community of Lakeview. So I really have to give full credit to the community of Lakeview. But the one person and the one real true champion of this project, absolutely from day one, has always been our Minister of Finance, Charles Sousa. And I'm going to let Charles talk in a minute, but I have to brag about him first. Charles, I met Charles several years ago before he had even ran as a member of provincial parliament, and even then he was supporting making a healthy, cleaner, more sustainable environment and an economically and social sustainable environment for all of the people in Mississauga South, and indeed to reclaim our waterfront and make it into something that the world could really embrace. And Charles he's always done that, and he's always there for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the greatest minister of all time, Mr. Charles Sousa.
Well, thank you, Jim, for a very kind introduction. He only knows one minister, mind you, but that's fine. You
only need one.
Oh, that's right. But you get a sense, of course, from listening to Jim, how passionate he is about the project that we've undertaken as a community. And so many have made this possible, as Jim explained. And I am so proud of being able to be a part of it, to the extent that we are going to be making a difference for future generations to come. The yardsticks have been put forward. We are moving it forward as a result of claiming and reclaiming our waterfront. Think back not long ago when the Four Sisters were there doing its job for the benefit of the economy of Ontario. But it kind of passed its due date. And I know, Scott Martin, you're here. You're a big part of this, as is OPG, in recognizing the net benefit that that land will have as a waterfront destination, as an opportunity for us to do so much more for our environment and to further our economic benefit as well as our environmental benefit for many years to come. So Scott, OPG is also to be congratulated for partnering with the city of Mississauga, with the province. Well, we are the province collectively, but that cooperation was essential in order for us to get to where we're going and what we've done thus far. And I think the biggest part of it is that we care. We care about our community. We care about doing what's right. And that's, again, speaks volumes to the caliber of individuals within our community that are making this possible. I want to congratulate the city of Mississauga as well for holding many consultations, for sharing the vision, which ultimately, Madam Mayor, is our vision. It's a vision that the community have put forward, and it's one that's being acted upon today. So the work will continue. That waterfront trail that Jim has been advocating for many years is coming to fruition. We are building and we're putting a stake in the ground right now to protect it from doing anything other than making it a walkable, livable community for all. And I'm actually here as a request, officially, by the councillor of Ward 1 who wrote me a letter and basically putting me on notice, which councillors and mayors seem to do a lot. And he said, well, you know, this project is going to cost so much, and we really would like to see the province of Ontario do its part by, you know, coughing up some more money. So I put it in the budget. I have that ability, it seems. So, Mr. Tovey, I'm responding to your letter by hand.
Oh, thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank
There's
you
my response in written form where I say that we will be supplying and providing the $450,000 necessary to do the first work of assessment, enabling us to protect the waterfront treasure. And this will enable us to do some designs and approvals, ultimately the construction of the project, and it is indeed an historical milestone that we're providing today, again, for all of us working together. And you gotta envision what's gonna happen as a result of some of the tremendous work that's being done by us all. Councillor Tovey often uses the CN Tower as an example of the size and scope of this pier. What he fails to tell you is that once we topple down that CN Tower, which would make our pier, you still have another 154 feet more above that. So this is a tremendous opportunity for us to have the trails, to have more community members and families take advantage of that landscape, that waterfront. And that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the cooperation with the City of Mississauga. And at the helm of the City of Mississauga, ladies and gentlemen, is her new worship, the almighty Bonnie Crombie. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Well, I'm still walking around with a big grin. So on behalf of the City of Mississauga and our members of council, two of which we have today, I'd like to welcome the Minister of Finance and the member for Mississauga South, Charles Sousa, here to City Hall. You're always welcome here. I'd also like to welcome all the active and engaged and thoughtful Lakeview ratepayers residents, all of you who have been actively involved in the future planning of the Lakeview lands. And I consider you all members of Jim Tovey's extended family. Thank you very much. And finally, I want to recognize our tremendous staff from the City of Mississauga for year-round professionalism and your dedication to developing this important and city-building vision. Thank you very much. So last January, just a few months ago, Janice Baker, our city manager, and I had the opportunity to attend the pre-budget submission consultation right across the street at Living Arts Centre, hosted by Minister Sousa. And he met with us and members of the community, and it better allowed Mississauga business people, stakeholders, charitable groups, and residents, allowed us the opportunity to present our ideas in preparation for the 2015 budget. It was an opportunity to discuss with him directly long-held priorities by our council. And as part of the city's representation, we discussed the need and the desire to secure provincial funding and build the Hurontario Main Light Rail Transit Plan. And so, of course, we're very honored and delighted that 2 weeks ago, Minister Sousa and Minister Del Duca and our local MPPs made history. It was a transformational announcement in our city, $1.6 billion funding for the Hurontario Main Light Rail Transit. And we're delighted. It's the largest infrastructure project in Mississauga's history. Transformational is the word we're using for our city, and we couldn't have done it without our provincial partners. And during that same pre-budget consultation meeting, we discussed Council's vision and priority to move forward with Inspiration Lakeview's master plan. Now, Ward 1 Councillor Tovey has done tremendous amount of work to make this plan a reality. It's been his passion. Councillor Tovey's work has been exemplary. He has driven this project with his unrivaled passion, and because of his drive and determination, we are all here today. So let's thank Councillor Tovey. The Lakeview community is nestled in the heart of the Mississauga South riding for Minister Sousa and Councillor Tovey. And Minister, I know you know the importance of the Lakeview community and the neighborhood and the unrivaled potential it has to be transformed into a world-class destination as a place to raise a family, open a business, or enjoy recreational opportunities. And this funding announcement today by your government is a tremendous investment that will help the City of Mississauga move forward with our own Inspiration Lakeview plan, which will further unleash the potential of our waterfront, our 22 kilometers of unrivaled, beautiful waterfront in the City of Mississauga. Yet again, as another example of working in partnership and collaboration with the provincial government, Mississauga is partnering with Premier Wynn's government to achieve real results for our residents, and we are very grateful, working together to build up Mississauga for all of Ontario. Thank you, Minister Sousa. That is it. Jim, you going to close this out?
Okay, they asked me to close this out, but this never actually really does get closed. It'll get closed in about 20 years when we've actually realized all of these visions. And I know that the community is gonna stay and stand behind those visions. And I know that myself and members of council, and I know that Charles and the rest of us, we're very committed to this vision. We're gonna complete this. We are gonna create the world's most environmentally sustainable community on the waterfront in the greatest city in Canada. Thank you.